Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clank Zoka. Welcome to another My Fault Song. We've only got roughly about 2 days until Trolls World Tour comes to digital release. And since I was talking about home last time, we went from two great DreamWorks films to two not so great DreamWorks films. First was Home, and now Boss Baby. This came out in 2017. This is directed by Tom McGrath, and he works at DreamWorks, and he's the same guy who directed. You can correct me on this. I think all the Madagascar films. I think he's a writer for all of them. I know he directed most of them, but oh god, I'm not entirely sure. But he is the man who is behind most of these DreamWorks films, including Madagascar. Anyways, Boss Baby, yeah. This is based on the book by Marla Frasi. This film has a pretty big all-star cast. Alec Baldwin, Steve Buscemi, Jimmy Kimmel, Lisa Kudrow, Toby Maguire. You even got Miles Bashki in it too. This film came out in 2017. Like I said, it got mainly pretty mixed critical and even audience reactions. The film was somehow a big hit at the box office. It was like one of the most talked about films from that year. Bit strange, but okay. But then it got an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Feature. Yeah. So what made it get that award? I don't know. I did see the film when it came out. I wasn't looking forward to it at all. It looked kind of dumb. It looks like DreamWorks' boring, dull version of Warner Animation Group's Storks. And I actually liked it when it first came out. I actually was pleasantly surprised. And I like when films go from something that I think would be not good to something that's good. So it's been a while since I've seen it. So what is Boss Baby about? It's about this kid named Tim Templeton, voiced by Miles Bashki, or Bashki. I was going to call him Miles because he's second. He's the great grandson of Ralph Bashki, right? So I'm just going to call him Miles. Anyways, he's a young kid. He has a big imagination. He likes to go in the jungle as an explorer. He's a pirate. He goes underwater. However, his parents, both voiced by Lisa Kudrow and Jimmy Kimmel, decide that now's the time for him to have a brother, since the mum is pregnant. And the Boss Baby, voiced by Alec Baldwin, comes into their home. And as you can imagine, they both don't really get along very well. There's a bit of a rivalry. I can't say it correctly. There's a rivalry between them. There we go. And it turns out that he actually doesn't want to be at the house. He's actually here to stop the CEO of this company called Puppy Co. And what a coincidence! Boss Baby is from a company called Baby Corp, where all babies are up in this little area where they have to do management. And the head of the Puppy Co. company is Francis. He's voiced by Steve Buscemi. He wants to make this puppy that can last forever, and he wants everyone and their attention on the puppy, then babies. And so Tim Templeton and the Boss Baby have to work together to stop him, and also for him to get the attention of his parents back, because, as you can imagine, it's a freaking baby. It's going to get more attention than you, kid. Okay, the plot kind of just sounds like a cartoon. It sounds like something from the 70s or 80s. Two characters don't get along. but then they have to work together to actually stop the big threat. And knowing that this is from DreamWorks, yeah, this doesn't necessarily. This story's not really movie worthy. It's more like a distraction story. This film has a lot of cliches. It's pretty predictable when you think about it. And it has humour in it. It has a lot of modern jokes too and references. It has this very strange tone. At points it wants to be super funny and fast, and at times it's just kind of weird. And I don't mean like in the fun way. I mean more like in the it kind of makes you think, and it kind of makes the movie a bit more disturbing than usual. Like if the mum is pregnant, how did the baby get to the door in a taxi? I mean, yeah, I know it's a cartoon. You're supposed to get used to it. It's like, oh, it's a cartoon. But when you realistically think about it, it's weird. It is really strange. But does it mean the film's bad? No, actually. I think it makes the film at least pretty good. The story, while not original or well executed, is at least interesting. Even the concept is it's not particularly great, but it could kind of work for a film like this, and it kind of does. Whenever we go to Baby Corp, it's actually a bit funny and a bit creative there. And I like the message of the film about growing up and always showing care for your sibling. You know, at least this film actually tried a little harder than I thought. There are some great chase scenes and a few battle scenes. The humour, while not as funny as like Shrek or Kung Fu Panda, is, I'll admit, a little funnier than Home. It has a few moments where I thought, oh, that was a bit amusing, and that was actually kind of funny. But that's like 60% of the humour. The rest is kind of, it does its job, and it's not funny, but it's at least, it makes sense to put it in the film. And there's a lot of like baby bottoms, and there's even a scene where the boss baby is naked, and they censored his penis. Like I said, this film is weird, and again, not in a funny, amusing way, just kind of in a disturbing way. But like I said, the film, I'll say this also, it has heart. There are some very heartfelt moments, but not that many. It has decent humour, and I think it can be a little funny and a little like a little chuckle worthy at times. I like the scenes where Tim goes into his imagination. Those are probably the best scenes in the film. I like the energy that it has. It has big energy. It has lots of speedy, quick jokes, and the ending's pretty satisfying too. So, I mean, I want to say that I don't really like the plot that much, but in a way, I kind of, I wouldn't say appreciate it, but I kind of like it for what it is. It's not completely awful, but not great. Well, what do you expect? The story, while not original or all that great, does do the best it can for a film about a talking baby. I mean, again, it has decent humour, it has good action, it has good chase scenes, it has big speed, it has great jokes, decent humour at best, and it has heart too, and I also like the ending. But the thing that stops it from being great is by how confusingly disturbing it all is. But again, that's coming from a film about a talking baby. Animation. Just like Home, the animation is the best thing about the movie. And unlike Home, where, the animation in that film's great, but not amazing, this animation is the same, I would say, but I would say probably better than Home's. I like the cartoony style of the characters. They have big expressions, big movements. I do like how they're designed like these very old 70s or 80s cartoon characters. Um, it's a very beautiful looking film, surprisingly. It's bright, colourful. The scenes where Tim goes into his imagination is also creative and colourful and full of style. So again, it's just another good-looking DreamWorks film. Not one of the best looking of their kind, but of their sorts, I should say. But at least you can tell that they were going for something different, and then like Madagascar or How to Train Your Dragon and all that. Despite the good animation and despite the good effort, the thing that kind of bugs me the most is that with the babies, they're nicely designed, especially for the boss baby. They look a little too similar to the baby from Storks. What was it, Diamond Destiny? Yeah, actually, all the babies in this film look very similar to the babies from Storks. And while I think Storks is a better film than this, I can kind of see, I can kind of see them. I can kind of see why they're taking this advantage to make them even more cuter with bigger eyes. I mean, in Storks it makes sense and it makes it funny. Here, while cute and nicely designed, it looks a bit weird and a little too annoying, to say the least. Even Tim's design is a bit weird with the big pupils. The animation once again proves that DreamWorks can still do good. Even if it's not one of their best animation yet, at least it's bright, colourful, beautiful, nicely designed, has a nice cartoony look to it. It's just an all-around good-looking animated film. Characters and acting. The characters are weird, like the plot. There's a few that I like I like the boss baby. I thought he was probably the only character that I legit liked. Tim's a bit irritating, but he's fine. Stacy, Jimbo, the triplets are kind of forgettable supporting characters. The parents are pretty dumb. Francis is actually a pretty entertaining villain. His brother Eugene is also pretty funny too. And that's it. All these characters, besides maybe two or three, are just kind of your very generic, stereotypical characters. They don't really stand out, they don't really offer much. They do have key roles, but they're not very memorable or even all that funny. However, the voice acting does save these characters from being, at the very least, forgettable. Alec Baldwin plays the boss, voices the boss baby, and I thought he was great. He just sounds like Alec Baldwin just having a great time as always. It sounds like he's really enjoying his role as Boss Baby. You didn't hear that. I like him in whatever film he's in, you know. Yes, I'd probably even say Thomas and the Magic Railroad. At least he was bizarrely over the top. Miles Bashki is alright as Tim. He does have the voice of a like 7 or 8-year-old kid, but he can be a bit annoying and a bit bratty at times. Lisa Ludrow is great as always. Jimmy Kimmel's a bit distracting. Also, what is it with these people hiring hosts to be in an animated film? Jimmy Kimmel was in Boss Baby. He was in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. James Corden was in Trolls, Smallfoot, the movie about certain yellow faces that nobody likes. He was also in Peter Rabbit. John Oliver, he Wonder Park, Lion King. I mean, I know why they're bringing these guys in, but you don't always need them. And don't get me wrong, I like James Corden, Jimmy Kimmel's alright. I like John Oliver and all that, but whenever I hear his voice as Ted Templeton, it just sounds like Jimmy Kimmel. Steve Buscemi is freaking awesome as always. I think it's about time he got a another animated role, and then just Hotel Transylvania again. I'm trying to think who else is in the film. I think that's... Oh, I forgot. Tobey Maguire is actually the narrator and also the voice of the older Tim. He just sounds like Peter Parker, as he always does. Conrad Vernon, who you may know as Rico, is Eugene Francis, and just like Rico, he doesn't say a word until the end. Yeah, that's a bit of a spoiler, but come on. It's Boss Baby, you don't even know what's going to happen. Anyways, he's great as always, and I'm happy he just uses grunts and noises instead of speaking. The characters may be weird and not all that particularly memorable, but at least the voice acting and at least Boss Baby, Francis, and Eugene are actually kind of the only things that makes them entertaining. The rest of the characters are okay at best. So the characters are just kind of like poopy diapers. On one hand, you can clean them off, or on the other, they're disgusting. I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah. On a side note, the score by Steve Mazzaro and Hans Zimmer, you heard me, did the score for the film, which... Okay, I know Hans Zimmer did the score for like Kung Fu Panda and Madagascar, but it sounds weird. The score is quite good. I think it's a very nice, beautiful score. And even the song What the World Needs Now, which is played at the end of the film, is also quite nice too. You know what? This film's actually a little better than from what I remember. I actually kind of like this film more than I thought. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than most of the DreamWorks films I've seen. Boss Baby may not be one of the best DreamWorks films, or even one of the worst from DreamWorks, but it's pretty good. It has a great message. It has a interesting, at least, concept. The animation's great. The characters, while okay, have great voice acting. Boss Baby, Francis, Eugene are entertaining as heck. It has great music, and it's at times funny and inventive. So, I mean, if you're interested in seeing this, I mean, I know there are people that have memed the hell out of this film when it came out. But if you're interested to thinking, could it actually be good? Give it a watch if you really want. Don't expect anything great, but I'd probably say the kids might enjoy this more. I don't know. Again, not bad, not great, just pretty good. And I'm glad I actually saw it another, like, a third time? Second time or something like that. It's better than Home, even though I still like Home. It's better than Trolls, and I'll get to that tomorrow. Turbo, Shrek the Third, Shark Tale, obviously. So I'll give it a 6.7 out of 10. Not perfect, but you know what? It's not half bad. So yeah, Boss Baby. And now onto the grand finale. Tomorrow will be Trolls. So, if you have seen Boss Baby, what do you think below? Do you think it's good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time, don't wear a diaper. Oh, I mean nappy. I mean, we say nappies in the UK, but I know you guys in the US, you guys say diapers. Actually, why do you need to wear diapers or nappies if you're like 10 or 17? I don't expect children to watch my channel unless I put up a few poems or music videos. What is it with me and nappies? That's really odd.